Rain fell in heavy sheets over the city, turning streets into silent rivers and tree leaves into trembling witnesses. Under the vast shelter of an ancient oak in the old city park stood a woman, her dress soaked, her eyes dimmed with emotion. Her name was Alara. For 2 long hours, she had waited in the downpour, her arms crossed over her chest, not for warmth, but to keep her heart from spilling out. Suddenly, hurried footsteps approached. Jace arrived, drenched and breathless, his dark hair plastered to his forehead. He saw her and paused, guilt flashing across his face. "Alara," he said softly. "Why are you just standing there? Say something." She looked up slowly. "I've been waiting for you in the rain for 2 hours." Jace blinked, taken aback. "Why did you call me here then?" She exhaled deeply, the rain masking her tears. "We need to talk." He straightened. "Then talk. I'm listening." "Why were you late?" she asked quietly. "I was busy," he replied, eyes shifting. "You're always busy, Jace. You never have time for us." "I didn't want to see you," he admitted. "That's the truth. But you insisted. That's why I asked you to come here today. We need to speak honestly. This might be the last time."
His jaw tightened.
"Last time? What do you mean? You won't come to see our son again?" Jace looked away. "I'll see my son, but I don't need to see you." "You think it works like that?" she whispered. "I brought flowers. I apologized 100 times, Alara. What more can I do?" She took a step back. "You don't understand. Some wounds don't heal with apologies." He held the bouquet tighter. "What did I do that you can't forgive me for?" "You think I haven't tried?" she said. "You think I didn't want us to work?" "You left," he said accusingly. "You walked out. I had to. For him. For me. I was trying to save this family."
"No."
"You were trying to control it." Jace's eyes flashed. "That's not fair." "You hit me, Jace." Not always. Enough times." "There were reasons," he protested. "You provoked me." She turned her face, disgusted. "No man has the right to hit a woman, especially when she's pregnant."
"I didn't hit you then. I
just pulled you." "That's not the same." Alara's lips trembled. "You shoved me hard. I almost fell. And you know it. I had a temper. But I've changed." "No, you haven't." He stepped closer. "I loved you. You say that now. But love doesn't raise its hand. Love doesn't lie. And it doesn't cheat." His eyes widened. "You still think I cheated?" "I saw you. With her. She's just a friend. You laughed with her in ways you never laughed with me." "I never touched her," he argued. "It doesn't matter. You broke my trust." They both stood in silence as the rain slashed through the canopy above. The bouquet in Jace's hand wilted, drooping with every passing second. "You made me feel like I was losing my mind," Alara said. "Like I wasn't enough." "You were more than enough," he said. "Then why did you hurt me?" "I was scared," he confessed. "I didn't know how to be a good man. I tried." "You didn't try hard enough." "What do you want from me, Alara?" She looked up at him, her face pale. "I want a divorce." He froze.
"No.
You don't mean that." "I've meant it for months. And our son. He stays with me."
"No. He's my son too."
"I have rights." "You can see him. But he lives with me." "Who are you to decide that?" "I'm his mother. I carried him. I fed him. I stayed when you left. I came back."
"Twice."
"And not to make things better. To silence your guilt." He stared at her, his lips parting as if to say something, but no words came. "I wanted to believe you," she said. "I wanted to believe that if I gave you one more chance, you'd be different." "I would've," he whispered. "I could've."
"No, Jace. You would've already."
Silence pressed between them until he asked, "What will you tell him when he asks about me?" "I'll tell him the truth. That his father loved him, but didn't know how to love right." "Alara," he said, voice breaking. "You'll find someone else. Marry again." "I don't want anyone else." "Then maybe you should have fought harder for me. Before it was too late. I hit you once because I thought you were drinking." In front of your friends. It was a cocktail. How could I have known? You could have asked. I was humiliated, angry, and I was shamed, hurt, but I didn't hit back. I told you I'm sorry. She shook her head. Sorry isn't enough anymore. He knelt suddenly, the bouquet falling to the ground. Elara, please. You remember the pain when it suits you. But the joy. You've forgotten all of it. That's not true, he said. I remember everything. Then you know why this has to end. They stood again in silence. The thunder roared in the distance. Alara's lips parted, trembling. Do you remember the night I went into labor? She asked. He nodded slowly. You were drunk. I called, and you didn't answer. I didn't hear the phone, he muttered. You came 3 hours later. I was alone, scared, and you missed his first cry. Tears rolled down his cheeks now. I wanted to forgive that. I told myself you'd change. I should have, he whispered. She turned, the umbrella at her side unopened. She walked past him, step by step, through the puddles and shadows. Jace didn't follow. He only watched. The last thing he saw was her back fading into the storm. The flowers lay crumpled at his feet. 3 years later, the soft laughter of a boy echoed through a small backyard garden. The sun peeked through thick clouds, and a woman tended to the roses along the white picket fence. Elara had found peace, not in another man, but in herself. She had started writing. Journals at first, then blogs, now books. About motherhood, strength, survival. Women wrote back, thanking her. Her pain had become their hope. Her son, Leo, was now 4. He asked about his father sometimes. And Elara always answered with kindness. She never poisoned his heart. Across the city, Jace sat alone in a small apartment. The walls were silent. He hadn't remarried. He hadn't even tried. He saw Leo once a month. Elara never stopped him. But every goodbye was hard. Jace finally understood. Love was never just a feeling. It was action, it was patience, it was sacrifice. And sometimes realizing that comes too late. Ending message. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes love isn't enough, unless it's given with respect. Subscribe for more stories that dive into the heart of human emotion.